Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another daily Marvel Snap video. So today we have a very hefty build. It is the new Nimrod. I'm very excited to test out the new card, and accessible lists are going to be tested out on my live stream. I'm live streaming right after this video goes live, so if you want to see some additional Nimrod builds, make sure to jump over there and check it out. But this one is going to be a very hefty build. My goal with this first day one build is to get one that feels as consistent as humanly possible. And to do that, I'm a very big fan of multiple play lines. So multiple win conditions, so that if we get leeched, if we get out positioned, if we get hit with an armor, a Cosmo, do we have ways to find a way to win? The aim with this list is a turn 6 Galactus. And so that would involve doing our ideal playline, the perfect situation. We have our Nova on 1, we have Zabu on 2, Wong on 3, Shuri on 4, into Nimrod on 5, Galactus on 6. Depending on where we play the Nimrod, that is going to push upwards of 42-ish power, if not potentially more, into that lane. But there are other ways that we can make that work. Even if we miss the Shuri, we could do Wong and then play Destroyer into the Wong lane. If we have Nimrod on the board, that is going to double destroy him. That's going to create 4 copies of Nimrod. So if you have Nova, if you played Shuri, potentially then you have a lot of power. If not, then that 4 Nimrods at 6 power each is still going to be 24 power for that 5 cost that you played, followed up by your 15 power Destroyer on the last turn. We also have the supporting roles of our Goblins, so if we don't have Nimrod, then we can lean in on something like Shuri into Hobgoblin, or Wong into Shuri into Hobgoblin. We have Green Goblin to continue to further clog their side of the board to get an easier turn 6 Galactus. And then we have Kang. Kang is in the list for consistency. The biggest question mark with this list is, are we going to get leeched on turn 5? Are we going to get blocked on turn 6? And so if we can use Kang to get an ideal read on what the opponent is going to do, then we can use that and leverage that information to our advantage. Kang is by no means required. We could take out Kang, we could do magic. That would extend the game, that would give us an additional draw, an additional chance to draw into our key resources. And so Kang by no means is absolutely core. But if you have him, he doesn't hurt here. Zabu and the Wong, if you don't have Zabu, could be a more traditional destruction style deck or destroy style deck, and you could leverage that. You could throw in an Electro ramp so that you can more easily do something like Nimrod on 4 into a turn 5 Destroyer, potentially turn 6 Galactus. It just frees up your flexibility. And so you could take out Zabu and Wong for something like Electro and Magic. You could have both sets, Kang and Magic, to further your consistency and be able to draw some additional cards. You could take out Shuri or maybe even Kang for a Forge. That would help buff up your Nimrod, but it doesn't help as much with your Goblins. So if you go with Forge, you would want to make sure you have a good follow-up turn in like your Nimrod, rather than trying to play a Hobgoblin that is now less potent when you send it towards the opponent. This is more of a Death Wave style deck. You could do the Deadpool route where you play your Wolverine. Nimrod in this one takes the place of She-Hulk. So instead of wanting to do just wave on turn 5, you could potentially wave early into a Nimrod on 4, into a Deathlock on 5, which destroys the Nimrod. On 6, you could potentially do a Venom. You can kind of start that snowball rolling a little bit earlier or faster, and this is a much more accessible version. So if you don't have the deep collection, this is a day one build, so definitely tweak it to what works best, but I think it should work fairly decently. And so with the not so brief deck explanation out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and jump over into a couple of games. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, first up we have Sam Jaya, and it took a long time to get connected. The servers crashed with the season reset, and so this is our first game after the card released. We do have our Galactus, we have our Nova, we have our Zabu, so let's see what we can make happen. We are going to try our very best to get Nimrod here. We do have Zabu, so if we can draw into maybe Wong, then we could do even just a Wong and a Destroyer. If we draw into our Nimrod, of course, be able to double trigger it. Ooh, we get our Shuri. And so I think we're going to do... it's so close. I think we're going to do Shuri to the left. If the right lane pulls into our Galactus, perfect. We have the double-powered Hobgoblin that we can then follow it up with Destroyer. But we will... Ooh, so it pulls into our Hobgoblin. Not ideal, but it will work. So leaning in on... Oh, not the turn 6 because Shuri is now there. So not leaning in on the turn 6 play because of the arrow. We do draw into our Kang, which could easily be a magic to extend the game, give you some additional draw and insight. Let's see, they play Shuri of their own. We do get Nimrod. So this is the follow-up card to our Shuri. We get the Nimrod. They've already played their arrow. We can do Galactus into mid. So we're going to have the 10 power Nimrod come down. Their arrow is already on the board. We should be able to make this work, I think. They have the 12 power Captain Marvel. Can they beat the 22 power here? I don't know. But we're gonna play it out. We can't. There's no way that we let this one go. We are going to play the Galactus. Do we play Kang instead, just in case? There's no way that they can pull our card, right? Let's play Kang. We're going to play it safe. We're going to play Kang. We're going to get a read on what they're playing. They play the Taskmaster to the left, which is completely fine. We have the Kang come down. Now we're going to do our turn 6 Galactus. We just took a little bit of a precautionary measure just to see what the opponent was running. And I think we are perfectly fine here. I think game 1, we are going to get that nice Nimrod transition or interaction between the Galactus. And I think it'll create 2 Nimrods in our lane, both of which should be 11 power thanks to the Nova, I believe. So they changed their play line. They play Red Skull to the right. We are going to play the Galactus, and we are going to watch the monstrosity unfold. It actually destroys left to right. So Nimrod is only going to be, I think we're only going to get 1 extra Nimrod here, right? Let's see. I don't know that that's enough to win. It's going to be really, really close. So it's enough to tie, which is not enough to win. So had we been able to play our Nimrod in the far left lane, that's going to be an important interaction to be able to potentially make this work, and I think it makes it a little bit clunkier than what I was anticipating. We will take the tie. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have good old Greg. The first location is the Dark Dimension, so we could potentially hide like a Wong and a Destroyer maybe. We can do some kind of crazy things. I'm going to play the Zabu outright. We're still looking for a way to potentially do that turn 6 Galactus, but our alternate playline is something like a Wong, Shuri, maybe even Hobgoblin to cap out their lanes as an alternate playline. We do have the Wong, so I think we're going to go ahead and... Ooh, we get Destroyer as well. Do we play Wong to the left? We hide Wong. We then hide our Nimrod. That's going to destroy him twice. It's going to create quite a bit of power onto the board. I don't know exactly how much. That's going to make it where we can't do the turn 6 Galactus, though. Is that something we are willing to give up just yet? So the Strange Academy lane could push our cards into the Dark Dimension, so capping them out with something like a Green Goblin for the Galactus play is a little bit less consistent. The middle location is going to be clogging our board or clogging our deck. I think we're going to go with the Wong to the Dark Dimension, and then we are going to just play from there. They do change the far right lane into the Raft, interestingly enough. We also get our Galactus. Not exactly what we wanted, but I think it's okay. Turn 4, 5, and 6. We're going to do the Green Goblin into the Vibranium Mines. Our biggest worry or our biggest factor here is going to be the potential arrow play on the last turn. I assumed they would cap out the Raft location. They do the She-Hulk, they do the Sunspot, so they get quite a bit of value there. We're going to just send the Green Goblin. Maybe that can be our win lane after the Destroyer comes down. I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to play it out. We're going to see if Nimrod is played here. He will get pushed here and then here, and then he'll get destroyed one more time, and so then he'll get pushed here and here twice. And so we'll get 10 extra power in this lane after this is all said and done, but I don't think that's enough. I'm going to play Nimrod into the middle location. That way we can get the extra copies here and here. I think we're fighting for these 2 lanes. I think those are going to be the ones that we want to win. So let's see. They do the Leech, which is so tough to see come down. And that is our hard counter of the day, is going to be the Leech. Those people that are really rushing for infinite right away with the Thanos Leech rotation. That's going to be pretty difficult. So it might be that we go back to the drawing board if that impacts us enough. We're going to retreat out of this one, jump into a new one. All right, next up we have Jay Conroe. The first location is Asgard, so we do want to push cards in power there early. We also get the Wong and the Shuri. So if we can get Zabu on this turn right here, oh my, beautiful. We can do Zabu, we can do Wong, we can do Shuri, and then we're just looking for how do we destroy the board from here. I think this is going to be a really good snappable game, but I also want to see it play all the way through. We have the Zabu, the Wong is going to be beautiful, the Shuri, we have to worry about a potential arrow play, maybe, but if we have this lane entirely capped out with something like Wong, Shuri, and Nimrod, then the arrow play is no longer a potential factor or issue. We are going to drop the Wong. Next turn is the double trigger for Shuri. We have to worry about the leech. The leech is always going to be very prevalent in our minds. Let's do the double power Shuri. We have the Nimrod that will come down. That's going to be a 20 power card. And then if we can somehow avoid the leech play, we will just absolutely win. They do have the Space Stone. We are just hoping that we avoid that devastating card, that devastating card. Let's do the Kang. Since we just drew our Kang, I'm curious what they're going to be running. If they're running Leech, that may change things a little bit. So they do play the Leech, which is very interesting. We can definitely play around that. So knowing that, we're not going to be able to get the Destroyer. So Nimrod is not necessarily the play that I think is going to be best. So we do get to rewind the turn. They do have the Leech that rotates into the armor. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to angle towards probably the Hobgoblin play. The Hobgoblin is going to be very handy for us. So they do snap. But if we do the Hobgoblin, he's going to be negative 32 power. And then we have the Destroyer. The Destroyer's not going to trigger because of the Leech play. So let's go with the Hobgoblin, and then we will play from there. They did snap on us this time. Oh my gosh, they used the Kang into the lockdown rotation instead of the Leech this time around. Unfortunately, we send them the nasty Hobgoblin message to say, hey, we're not gonna be dealing with your business. The cards do move. Can we ever get past this turn 5 loop? Is what I'm wondering. We draw into just about all of our cards now. I think we still go with the Hobgoblin, but this time we're going to do it a little bit cheeky. We're going to play it into the far right lane just to change a small variable. We can't do it in this lane because it'll bounce right back, but we can do it in the Strange Academy lane. So they do play the Leech, but they don't rotate it, interestingly enough. So let's send them the massive negative power Hobgoblin. And then what we're hoping is that the 15 power that we have from the Destroyer is going to be enough for us to win from there. They could have a way to destroy the Hobgoblin potentially. I don't think they run Odin. I don't think this is massive. They could run Arrow here on it. Ooh, well, no. Arrow and a 1-cost card to the right, yeah? That's what's going to get us. Is the Arrow into a 1-cost card over here is going to be the biggest counter. We're going to play the Destroyer over to the right, hoping that that is enough. Let's see, what do they play? The Magneto pulls our Shuri, pulls our Wong. That is not enough, my friend. It is not the Galactus playline. It's not the Nimrod. We had the setup, but knowing that the Leech was coming, we have to be flexible in how we find our win condition. And so we do get the nasty Hobgoblin message to let them know that their Leech is not wanted here. And then we do win in the far right lane. Let's go ahead and take our win and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Shy. The first location is Titan, so our 6-cost cards are actually a little bit cheaper. We can do an early Destroyer into maybe a Galactus? We'll see. The Quantum Tunnel is also not fantastic for us. We get our Daredevil. I'm going to play that into maybe our Shuri on 4, unless we draw something better here. We can do our Green Goblin. We get Thor. I think we do our Green Goblin into the far right lane. That is going to be our primary focus location to win with our potential Galactus play. They use an Electro, and so then they rotate. What do they rotate into? Is this an Electro ramp or is it a Galactus play deck? The wave is interesting and a little scary at the same time. Let's go ahead and play Kang. Since we top decked him this turn, we will actually get another draw on this upcoming turn. And we had initiative. They do play Dr. Doom, so it's not a Galactus playline. It is an Electro ramp, so probably like a Sandman Electro ramp. Let's go with Maybe we draw into, I don't know, Nimrod here, maybe? Let's see. We drew into our Wolverine, which is not fantastic. Let's Destroyer the left lane. I don't think we have a more ideal play line. We can, but it's turn 4. We want to get the Daredevil read. Let's do the Shuri. Sure, we'll do the Shuri. Let's do the Shuri, and we're going to rotate it. We're feeling a little cheeky. It could flip into maybe Nimrod, could flip into Hobgoblin, or Galactus. All three are going to be perfectly fine. And then the next card we play will be double powered, so the Destroyer. We do flip into the Galactus. That is beautiful. Not quite Nimrod, but we will absolutely take it. We can then throw down Destroyer on turn 5. With them being an Electro Ramp style deck, I don't think... Oh, but it's going to rotate with the Quantum Tunnel. Oh, that's kind of scary, isn't it? We're going to do a double power play, and then it's just going to rotate out. Oof. Well, it is what it is. Let's rotate a couple of cards here. We can do the Zabu. Let's throw down the Wolverine. I don't know. We're going to... Oh, they do a Leech. How rude, Shy. That's not nice. It flips into Electro. They can only play one card on this last turn. We could potentially hit them with a Hobgoblin. We have a couple of good chances to flip into it. The Shuri is an interesting one. We then do flip into Hobgoblin. We clog up their side of the board even further. And Odin here could be kind of scary, but we are going to block this lane entirely. So it's not going to be as scary anymore. I know that we're gonna do Nimrod and then Nova. We flipped into Shuri, so this will become 10 power. If we flip back into it, it'll be kind of nice, I guess. I want to avoid the potential Odin. The Wolverine flip into the Nova and Nimrod. Oh, okay, but it's only 5 power. Interesting. So the Odin does come down. It's not going to be able to send the Hobgoblin back. We made sure that there wasn't any space. We do get the clunky win. None of these are incredibly satisfying or good wins, but we're chipping away at them, and we're holding our own in most cases. So we're gonna go ahead and take the 2 cubes. Let's jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Rofine, and we do have the Zabu. We have Wong, we have Nimrod, we have Galactus. Are they running Thanos? They're not. So we might be able to avoid... Ooh, they're running the Shuri ramp deck, which I think this is a little bit comfier against, because we don't have to worry so much. We also have the Wong into Nimrod into a double Destroyer trigger, which would help pad these 2 lanes quite a bit. And so if we can get Shuri, that's even better. Let's see. Since this deck typically will not run a Leech, that is our biggest downside. And the fact that Leech is so incredibly common right now is a little bit unfortunate for us. Let's play the Wong. We will go into turn 4. We have a 1 out of 7 shot of top decking Shuris, so not very likely. But we have a chance. It's a small chance, but it's a chance. They play Quinjet. They play Armor. Ooh, Quinjet from the Triskelion is incredible value for them. Let's play the Wong. Oh, we get the 1 out of 7. The 1 out of 7, guys. We'll take it. We will absolutely take it. Let's do the Nightcrawler. We're going to do the Shuri here. We want to make sure that our ordering is correct. I don't want to quadruple power the Nightcrawler. I want to quadruple power the Nimrod. And so we're going to drop that. Let's see what they play. They play a Shuri of their own. As long as they don't drop an arrow, we get a massive, massive turn 6 play here. We're going to telegraph the Nimrod. Oh wait, we can't play Nimrod here. They won't be able to do arrow here either. We're only going to get 1 extra Nimrod in one of the lanes, and I think we're going to make it the right lane. We're going to do the double power. We're going to do the 20 power Nimrod. The Galactus will come down. We'll see if it can hold up. We're going to move the Nightcrawler to avoid any kind of big plays. The Red Skull untethered is decent for us. Let's see if we can hold. Let's see if we can hold it out. But we're going to get a read on what they do first with our Kang. That lets us draw into 1 additional card as well, but that's not the important thing here. We also have initiative. So knowing what they're going to run is big. Let's lock in the Kang. We have initiative. Even if they had some kind of strong counter to it, doesn't matter. We are going to lock in the Kang, get a good... Oh, they retreat. No. Oh, they knew the Galactus was coming down. We get the 2 cubes, but we don't get to see it happen. Let's go ahead and jump over into one more. All right, next up we have Veggie Wagon. They could be a bot. That's kind of a, I mean, it's the bot avatar. It's bot-ish name. But right now, they're not running Thanos, so I am okay with that. They run a Iceman, which hits our Kang. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. We just can't use it on turn 5 now. Hell's Kitchen lets us draw our Nova, which does effectively thin our deck a little bit. Let's go ahead and play the Zabu. We have our Nimrod and our Destroyer. We also have Hobgoblin, depending on what kind of deck it looks like they're running, which if it's a bot, it's probably not an incredibly cohesive one. Maybe we can surprise them. Maybe it's a zoo deck, and we're perfectly fine against a zoo deck. It's so bad that Nimrod right now feels just mediocre, but given the right situation and without Leech, I think he would feel very, very strong. So we have Daredevil now. Let's do our Nova to the right. We could potentially Hobgoblin on 5 here, but I think we're going to do Nimrod into a double trigger of Destroyer. That's going to quadruple our Nimrods. So if we can get Shuri here, then we're going to have just value all over the board. They're flooding the board like a zoo deck. Oh, we do get Shuri here. Second Dinner is looking out for us. They want us to end this. They want us to end this video with at least one solid Nimrod trigger. Let's get the Shuri. I'm not going to snap because I do believe it's a bot, and I don't want them to run away. However, they do have the particles, and I didn't think all bots did. Maybe we'll see. Maybe Veggie Wagon's just playing us. We have the quadruple powered Nimrod. That's going to be 20 power. I'm going to play him into Hellfire Club. As long as Nimrod is in the left lane, that gets destroyed first. We will get 2 copies of it when it comes back. If we play Nimrod here and then we do Destroyer, that's going to send 1 here and here, destroy them again. And so it's going to send 2 here and 2 here. And so that's going to be 40 power in each lane plus the 50, maybe a little bit more because of the Nova that we have. Let's go ahead and lock that in. I'm perfectly fine with the way this is setting up. We have Blue Marvel come down. We have the 20 power Nimrod, and we have Wolverine. So we are going to be going with the Destroyer path. They have initiative. If it is a bot, do they Cosmo counter us? And if they do, is it worth running Kang? I don't know that it's even worth running Kang. I think we're just going to throw down the Destroyer and let it rip. Could change Kang for Magic. Very easy sub. That way we can extend the game. It does very similar things or very similar play lines. It just becomes, I think, a little bit clunky if we're doing the Shuri into Nimrod, because that is our ideal turn 5 play. But if we're still kind of stalling and drawing for additional cards, I think Magic is a good sub. They Cosmo counter us, and we don't get the Nimrod trigger. I'm gonna be so... Okay, Angela, good. That's not Cosmo. Nightcrawler, good. Not Cosmo. Okay, Ironheart. The double trigger of Ironheart is perfectly fine. We at least get to see this. Even if this is very bot-like game, we get to see the double Nimrod come down. The Destroyer is going to wipe this out. We should have 1 in mid, 1 in right, and then Destroyer will trigger 1 additional time, and that should send 2 left, 2 mid, and that they are going to be massive. We get the double Nimrod trigger, which then, oh wait, I calculated it wrong. It's 2 left, 1 mid, 1 right, which is phenomenal. We get so much power across the board. And the best thing is if we had initiative going to that and they had Shang-Chi, it's Shang-Chi proof because they move across the board once they get destroyed. We will take that one. That is where we're going to wrap up this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to check us out on twitch.tv/TLSG Snap. I'm going to be running more of this and some of the other Nimrod builds that either you suggest or that I have until I get so tired that I just can't go anymore. So if you liked the video, make sure to give it a like and a comment down below. As always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.